everybody, and welcome to Rising Stars, where we interview local Montreal talent on the rise. Today's episode is brought to you by Urban Eats Montreal, and I am especially excited today for this interview. I'm joined by Mr. Nick Drossos. Nick,
fellow Greeks.
Fellow Greeks.
We're small in the community.
There we go. So when we get together,
but we're growing in the acting world.
There we go. There we go. Welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
You're an acclaimed martial artist, running your own business.
Yeah.
You have your own podcast.
Yeah.
Let's have the balls to talk about it, I believe.
Man yourself up now.
Man yourself up,
Yes.
There we go. And an actor as well.
Yeah.
And today we're going to be touching on a bit of everything,
Yeah.
but I really wanted to start off with the acting journey. Tell me about how it all started, where it all started.
It's funny because when I was a kid, I loved entertaining. I loved making people laugh. It was always part of me as a child. You know what I mean? Like, people would see me always goofing around, making people jokes. It was in me, that artistic side of me. It was something I've always wanted to pursue. But coming from a Greek home is not like you're gonna be an actor. What stupidities are you talking about? You're gonna go to school, do something else. And when I was 24, actually, I decided, you know what? I'm gonna pursue my dream. I'm going to pursue my acting career. And I started taking acting classes. I started taking it more seriously. I got an agent. I started doing auditions. And probably from the age of 24 to 27, 28, I went full force with the acting. And I loved it. But I must have done 100 auditions. I never got one. And it was so discouraging. And I remember going for auditions. I got 5'11", well-built, and you'd get there, and there'd be like 50 guys, and you're like, you look exactly the same as you, right? Yeah. And at one point, I was like, when I hit 28, I was planning to get married. I wanted to have kids. And I realized there's no way I'll be able to do this as a career. There's no way I'll be able to raise a family with this. So I said, you know what? I'm going to put it aside. I'm going to come back to it maybe one day later. Or I knew I was going to come back to it.
Yeah.
And then that's when I decided to open my YouTube channel. I said, you know what? What do I love doing? I love being in front of the camera. I love acting. I love entertaining. What else do I love doing? I love martial arts. I love teaching. So why don't I open a YouTube channel and still be in front of the camera? You're still, even if you're doing a YouTube video and it's still martial arts or teaching, you still got to be entertaining. You still got to be engaging.
Exactly.
So I combined all that. And I stuck to it. And so I pursued the YouTube video YouTube had just opened. It didn't even have the potential. I didn't even know about monetizing. I didn't even know it was going to help me build my business, none of that stuff. And then as I got into the YouTube, YouTube started growing. And then it started being monetized, more people watching. And then I got to 50,000 subscribers, 100,000, 300, now I'm like 420,000. And then I used that platform to help me build my personal training business, my strength training business, my self-defense business. And then from there, my business started becoming more strong, more stable. I started becoming more, not financial freedom, but more independence. I started having my own schedule. I started teaching seminars, traveling. And I said, you know what? That part of me of wanting to be an actor is still in there.
Yeah.
That child was still like, you did it when you were younger, but now we're talking about, I'm 47. 20 years later, I'm like, you know what? Now's the time.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I'm 46, 45, I'm like, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna complete, it's kind of sad, the last stage of my life, in the sense that the last thing that I have to complete. And I remember when I told people I was going to go back to acting, people are like, why are you going to go back to acting? Your business is doing well, focus on your business, you become a Hollywood star, and this is all negative. These are not actual friends, these are people that, comments here and there you meet, and you cut that noise out. These are people that I don't really give a shit what they think, what they say, they're not close to me. And it's interesting, so at 45 I decided to pursue my acting career. But this time I'm in a different mind frame. I'm in a different financial place. I'm You know, my son is older. Everything is built around me being able to pursue this career without the stress and urgency of 24, 25, 26 that I had. And it's funny because I got my agent, Constantine Kurtudis. He's awesome. You know, and I started taking my acting classes. I started taking it seriously, and then I got my first role, actor role, second, and I became a full actor member within a year.
Congratulations.
Right, and I got my last movie was Witchboard, that's coming out. It's a feature film, and it's an actor role with lines. It's a small role, but I mean, you take every single one of your victories. I was still so excited about it, and now I'm pursuing it again. I'm pursuing it with in a different stage of my life, with a lot more maturity and a different mindset. So, and I'm having fun with it. So now I'm there.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit the whole journey of it.
For sure, no, it's a beautiful journey. You're having fun with it now at this stage in your life. What would Nick today tell Nick at 24? Just one piece of advice.
I would tell him to be patient and that things take time. It took me 15 years to build my business, to get to a point where my business is stable, strong, it runs on itself. You know, I built my reputation, in the city and globally around the world. It took me 15 years to get there. And now in my mindset is, I'm pursuing this acting career. I'm starting at 45, 46. I know it's going to take me at least 10 years of hard work and consistency before I even get something good. Yeah. So the difference is, I've learned that it takes time, it takes patience, it takes hard work. It's going to take 10 years of working my ass off. The only difference is now is that I understand that time lapse it takes, and I'm more patient with it. And I would go back and say, you know what? Be patient, work hard, stay the course, cut those negative voices, toxic people out of your life, focus on what you need to do, surround yourself with good people, strong team around you, just keep moving forward.
It's interesting because I'm looking at what you're saying about running your business, the YouTube, the content creation around the martial arts, and it's as if you had this dream at 24 and life was telling you, learn how to run a business on YouTube with the martial arts, and then you'll be given the tools to now do the acting business, because it is a business at the end of the day.
You know what? It's a business.
Yeah.
And it's a business. You have to manage it a certain way.
Yeah.
Right? And I tell people, it's not because you're entertaining that you could be an actor. It's not because you're funny you could be a comedian. There's a skill set to it. Like, that's why I take courses. That's why I've worked with John Yannick Kutrubis. I love you, John. You're the man. He, when he came 6 years ago, and I hired him, and he was referred to help me make really new YouTube videos. We were doing fight analysis, fitness videos, motivational videos, all that. Even though it was videos for something different, I was always in front of the camera. Yeah. It was always practice. It was always training, right? And I think even that entire part taught me as well. Now it's like, okay, I want to pursue this acting career. What do I need to do? I've made a list, I've made timelines, I've made goals of what I want to, where I want to be and what I want to get, knowing that I can't control everything. Yeah. But I could only control how I'm going to react to everything that happens. I'll give you a great example. When I was 24 and 25, like your age, I would go to an audition. I wouldn't get it. Get out. Fuck, I didn't get it. Shit, I suck. Damn. Maybe I'm not good enough to be an actor. Maybe I shouldn't do this. Why did he get it? And I would go crazy. Now I do an audition. I have fun. I come in. I'm confident. Hey guys, how are you? I'll talk to them. I'll even tell, can I do it again? I don't like to. Can I try it again? I would never have done that when I was younger. Now I don't care, right? And then when I walk out, I'm like, I did good. Could have done better. It was okay. Or I really did well.
It is what it is.
And that's it. I don't break my head. I won't lie to you. Sometimes I'm like, shit, I did a really good audition. I hope I got it. And I didn't. It's okay. But I think that's the fundamental difference, that I don't go in an audition with urgency, with desperation, with I need to get it.
Yeah.
Because you know what? Your audition, they're going to feel that.
Exactly.
They're going to feel that.
Exactly. Just that confidence, that calm
Yeah.
coming in. And at the end of the day, it's really their decision.
Yeah.
Like, you could give a perfect performance, but if you don't fit the vision for whatever reason, it's not on you.
It's awesome because I train like Olivier Simon Ficto, who's a
Yeah.
producer. I train Sugar Sammy, and I go to them for a lot for advice because they have experience. And they was telling me, Sam actually was giving me the advice. Like when we were doing our show, sometimes we saw really good actors, but they didn't fit the idea we had for that role. So he goes, it could be any reason why they didn't take you. So the only thing you could focus on is how good could I become as an actor every time a little bit better. And don't beat yourself. And don't look at it like you failed, you weren't good, you sucked, you were shit. What could you have done differently? You could kind of break that down a little bit. But, after that, it's like next page. You just keep moving forward. And as long as you're working on your craft and you don't think, well, I think I'm a good actor. No, you're all... And what I've taken from my martial arts training from a kid in Kung Fu and karate and spending all my life in martial arts, I'm applying that formula to acting. Like, I trained 20 years. Why wouldn't I train 20 years to be a good actor?
Yeah.
I trained 20 years of sparring. Why wouldn't I go in front of the camera and train and constantly train? Your podcast, all that is training.
Yeah.
Either way, in front of the camera, you're doing something.
Exactly.
Right? So I'm like, go out there and just keep working at something, and maybe I'm old school. My work ethic is, I'll do anything. I will work, I'll be on set, I'll just to be on set and to learn everything as much as I could. So I think that's a really important part if you want to take it seriously. If you're not, I tell people, don't waste your time because it's people think acting is it's one of the toughest businesses.
It is.
The chance of you making it are probably 0.0001.
Exactly.
And define making it.
Yeah.
And I tell people, if you're going to be an actor, if you're doing it for money or fame, you've already failed.
You're out.
I don't do it for money or fame. Trust me, we know there's no money in it.
Yeah, exactly.
It costs us more money than to make money.
Exactly.
The fame, there's really no fame in it. But what
And
it
comes
is,
with some,
it comes,
yeah.
Hey, you might, wow, hey, I like, I do some skits, it's funny, it's great, but it's not fame.
Yeah.
But you do it because you love it, you're passionate about it. If you're not, don't waste your time.
Exactly.
That's my philosophy.
Of course. And when you do it out of your passion and your love, it'll all flow naturally.
Yeah, it'll flow, yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of training, what kind of training are you doing now? Is there specific classes you're taking?
Right now I'm training with Susanna Lanier. So I did classes with her, but in the past I did with Jacqueline McClintock, MSOPA, Gilles Plouffe, Chip Chipka as well.
Chip Chipka, yeah.
Really good teacher as well. So I went with different teachers. I learned different techniques. But I always say the best training is just get in front of the camera.
Yeah.
To go out there, you know what I mean? It's a student film, it doesn't pay, it's not like a big production. Well, it's not good enough for you? No. You go and you do it.
Get some experience.
And I think that's always your best training.
Yeah.
I look at it like sparring, like I take my acting classes, and even now I'm lucky enough financially that when I do auditions, I actually pay my teacher. I pay my coach. I said, you know what? I'm going to pay you, and I want to do the audition with you because I want to do the best audition possible. I worked my ass off to get to this point. I'm financially not rich, but comfortable enough to say, you know what? I'm going to pay, and I'd rather do it that way.
Yeah.
So I'm putting everything in my favor to make it, and I want to look back, and I never want to look at myself and say, I didn't give it everything I have. I can look back. In 15 years, I'll look at this video and say, I gave it, in that moment, I was doing everything I could.
Yeah.
Even, it's interesting because probably the biggest change of being your age, because I'm looking at you and you remind me of me now, and being 47, is that even you look at my physique right now,
Yeah,
I'm in very good shape.
Yeah.
Why do you think I stay in such good shape?
Keep at it, you keep doing it.
It's because right now, I'm typecast which I'll take.
Okay.
We need a 50-year-old mercenary. We need a 50-year-old military guy. We need a 50-year-old guy who's in shape with a six-pack, who can throw a 6-foot-high kick. How many is there? Not a lot. So even now, my physique, I'm taking it to the next level because I want to be 50, 55, 60 and be able to play those roles that most men can't or don't take care of. They're not at that level. So even my physique is coming to play because I'm projecting, not that I'm going to get my break now. I'm projecting to get my break at 55.
Yeah.
I'm saying it here on camera. Like at 55 and I'm 47, you'd be like, really? You're going to wait that long? Yeah, because things take time and it's okay. But you know what? When there, I'll be ready.
Yeah.
So I'm putting everything I can in my favor to really be ready when it happens. And not just get there and be like, shit, I wasn't ready. So I'm just pushing every day.
Yeah. Consistency,
Yeah.
preparation,
Yeah.
all things that we see less and less of, especially with like the younger generation.
Oh yeah,
like
100%.
myself included, you know what I mean? I catch myself,
Yeah.
have to be more disciplined. Is there any other things you feel are lacking from the acting community, things you'd like to see more of?
What I'd like to see more is more unity amongst everybody, is more cooperation, is more a Montreal community that is there together to really bring up what we're doing. And not so much little groups and everybody's like trying to eat away at something. You know,
Yeah.
we need to get together and create all of us together as a team, as a whole, even though everybody's kind of working separately, but we work more together to actually show Montreal talent. Like, there's not a lot. Like, I mean, if I don't do things with John or other people or myself, you know what I mean, nothing's gonna happen,
Yeah.
right? And you can't wait to get an audition. You gotta create your own opportunity. You gotta go out and find ways to make your own content, make your own movies, make your own whatever it is, you know, and put yourself out there.
Exactly. You got to be proactive.
Absolutely, because nobody's gonna knock on your door and say, "Hey, by the way, let me give you a role. I think you're perfect for it." No, you have to prove yourself, and that comes with time, and that, you know, and that's trust is built that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
For sure. And has there been a huge influence to you in your acting career? What person or a family member that you could look at and has given you some sort of support?
probably, in all honesty, it would probably be Sugar Sammy, and I'll
Oh.
tell you why. Because I started training Sugar Sammy 12, 13 years ago, and he was already popular then.
Yeah.
But I saw his work, his dedication, his plan, his structure, everything he was doing to get to where he is. And I see where he is now because I still train him. Like, I look at him and I'm like, I'm going to follow his formula,
Yeah.
right? So he's probably been, because he's the one I've known the longest in the industry and the one that I've followed the longest, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
he would probably be, because support. There's no support from a Greek family to do this, right? And everybody thinks you're crazy, you're
Yeah.
stupid, you know, and most friends, you know, will either laugh at you. You cut these people out of your life.
Yeah.
And, you know, you don't want to be around those type of people. Whereas the people that know me, and you know, I said, you know, in 10 years I'm going to be in Hollywood. Everybody knows, like, somebody could do it, it's you, because they know my work ethic and my discipline to do it, right?
Yeah.
When I mean Hollywood, I don't care about becoming a Hollywood star. I want to be, at least, I want to make some movies at that level at some point. You know what I mean?
Larger productions.
Larger, yeah. But I mean, I enjoy doing the little stuff just
Yeah.
as much. Doesn't matter. But I'd like to do just the one where I'm like, wow, I did it.
Yeah.
That's it. You know, check on the box. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So I think it's, and it's all. I guess it's all part of the. I want to look back in my life when I'm old. And I want to say, okay, acting, check. Martial arts, check. Strength, check. Like, there's a list.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I want to check off the box.
Yeah. It's pursuing everything to
Everything.
its fullest extent.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And being proud of that.
Yeah. Regret it. To me, my biggest fear is regret, looking back at life and saying, I could have, I should have, why didn't I do it? I'm fearless, man.
Yeah.
I'm fearless. I'm like, tell people, don't stand in my way because I'll go right over you. Like you could like support me or get out of the way, but just don't block the door.
Yeah.
Because I'm fearless with pursuing what I want to pursue, not letting anybody get in my way, staying focused, staying dedicated, working hard, and showing up every day. Doesn't matter how I feel is irrelevant to what I have to do. I just show up every day.
Exactly, and that's some of the Greek passion.
The Greek dynami. It's in
there
here.
you go.
I even tattooed it on my arm so
Exactly.
I can remember it. Dynami.
No, but it's true.
It's true. Like anytime I tattooed it when I was younger, right? And I tattooed it to a way, it says Dynami, that every time I question myself, I doubt myself. Every time, you know, especially when I was younger, because when you're younger, you're more, we have more insecurities.
Yeah,
we doubt
self-doubt.
ourselves. Are we good? Are we good? You know, do I look stupid? And even at my age, I still will get it. Just not as much, and just don't give a shit as much.
Yeah.
That's why I tattooed it there, and I'm like, Dynami. That means just keep pushing forward no matter what happens.
For sure. And we were talking about the larger productions in Hollywood. You were in one, Witchborn.
Yeah, Witchborn, yeah.
Witchboard. Tell me about some projects you're working on now. What's in the works, if we could talk about it.
Yeah, I have like, I mean, we have with John, like a short movie. We did Agriolula, that one, like, I don't know, I lost count, like 20 awards and stuff.
I saw that one. That was really,
you know,
I enjoyed it a lot.
I was really, really happy. I was happy to work on that and to be the lead, to work with John, to be directed by John. You know what I mean? It was one of my best experiences. So we're working on another film with that. Still doing my acting. I'm doing my Krav Maga, these funny skits. Krav Maga, I came up with the concept, self-defense Yamagas. It's crazy. It's a stupid concept, but it's getting millions of views. I'm just having, again, I'm doing it for fun.
Yeah.
And it shows that I could do comedy. Casting agents see it, people see it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I put myself out there. That's why I tell people, you got to put yourself out there and not be afraid. I put my skits, I put my acting scenes, I put my, you know, any short movies. I put everything out there. Casting agents, if they either know who I am, they've seen who I am, they've heard of me, because I'm out there. I'm in your face. It's like, hey, I'm there all the time. Don't forget me.
Yeah.
That's how I'm moving forward, right? I'll send it to, hey, here, this is what I did in my acting class. Hey, I'm working. I'm there. That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
But you can't be afraid of criticism when you do that, because somebody's going to always think you suck, no matter how good you think it is or whatever. Somebody's going to tell you, you know, but I'm used to it. I was on YouTube for 15 years. I still am. I have a video just went viral, has 5 million views. You suck. I'm going to spar you. Just negative comments. I'm like, I just laugh. Like, you think I have time to answer and read these comments?
Yeah.
No, next. That's it, you know. Yeah. So I'm working on that, and that's it. Just, you know, also, you know, pursuing, you know, my podcast, still making YouTube videos, my Krav Maga, working on short films, and that's it. So I'm just pushing hard with all of that.
Yeah, I think it's inspiring that you're so out there and pushing yourself, because I think about this quote Mike Tyson had, and he was saying, if you're not ready to fail at something in front of the world, he goes,
stay home.
Stay home.
I said it to my son. Go home. Go in your room, play video games. If you're not, you will fail.
Yeah.
It's impossible you don't fail.
Yeah.
But the question is, are you going to get up and keep going?
Exactly.
And the more you fail and the more you get up, the easier it is. And at one point you're like, what failure? I mean, just, I did it the wrong way. I'm just going to do it a different way.
Exactly.
There's no, I look at it like, you know, there's no such thing as failure. You just did it a way that didn't work. Just try another way, and another way, another. And if you have that mindset, you might try 10, 20, 50. The only difference between, because I know people who got into like personal training like me or acting or stuff, the only difference between me and most people, I never quit. I kept going forward. You know, year 4, year 6, year 8. And if you have a business, you know, your first 2 to 5 years, you're not making any money.
No profit.
We're breaking even if you're lucky. It's only after 5 years I started like, oh, okay, I'm finally starting to make money. I could breathe.
Yeah.
After 10 years, like, okay, things are good. All right, pretty stable. Let me just start. After 15 years, you're like, all right, I could breathe. You know, like I've built my reputation. I'm good, but it takes years. You know what I mean?
For sure. And you were talking before about right now you're kind of typecast because of your
Yeah.
physique. Is there any characters you'd like to explore playing, ones that interest you more than others?
I would love to like a lot of times, like I said, I'm playing the bad guy, the gangster, the mobster, the military guy, the cop,
Yeah.
which is cool because I mean you have to start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Plus I have all the fighting experience that comes in. I can do stunt. I was a stunt coordinator too as well on a film recently, Neglected, and they wanted a explosive bar fight scene, and the casting agent took me to make the scene because I worked in clubs. I'm like, okay, we have an explosive fight scene. Bar fight, 5-on-5. How do we make it real? I worked in clubs, I know exactly how to make it real. So that's what it was, right? But in terms of what I would see myself, I would love to play like the dad, divorced dad, the depressed guy, the Will Smith in, Pursuit of Happiness. You know what I mean? It's been a little bit my life, right? So I would love to play some of that, you know what I mean? Some of those type of challenges, the motivational stuff I love too.
For sure. And segues into my next question. How has acting kind of helped, for lack of a better word, with your parenting? You have a son who's...
So I put my son in acting classes when he was 7, which I tell every parent I meet, you got to put your kid in acting. Because he was very shy, very timid. Couldn't communicate as well. He wouldn't look people in the eyes. I put him in acting classes. So he started acting classes like this. 2 years later, he's in front of 50 people doing a monologue.
Wow.
Because it helps bring out your character. Yeah. It builds confidence. I was in LA teaching a seminar. And it's an interesting story because I'm going to share it for the first time. I've done seminars for the last 20 years I've been teaching. My first seminar I had 2 people. It cost me more to rent the room than to do the seminar. Yeah. Then 4, then 6, then 2, then nobody showed up. It took me 20 years to get to the point where, I was flown in LA. I did a seminar for a very big corporation. I can't mention who it was. The CEO sitting there, it's a $1 billion company, 120 employees. Wow. And I'm in a room like this. 2 people come in, they're miking me. She goes, yeah, okay, the stage is ready for you. We're about 120 employees. Your PowerPoint is ready. And I'm like, and I'm thinking this is like, I'm thinking it's a small seminar. I've done 50 people. I've done 30 people. Never 120.
Yeah.
I walk in. I open the door. I got a little bit overwhelmed. The mass of the seminar, the people, and these are all A personalities, very, strong, CEO, go-getter, cameras everywhere because they were filming it. Screens that are huge. I looked around, I'm thinking, I've never done such a big seminar before. And it was the first time I felt a little bit anxious in a very long time when it comes to teaching. And I've trained law enforcement, I've trained security. I don't even flinch because I've done it so many times. I get a little bit the adrenaline, but not. And I'm standing there, and the seminar I'm teaching it with a professor in communications who teaches verbal de-escalation and the different stages of how to conflict resolution. So he does that, I do the situational awareness part. And then he goes on stage, he's 65, he's done public speaking and this bigger than this. He just crushes it. I get there, I start getting nervous, my heart starts racing, and then you start getting the little doubts. Shit, am I good enough to do this? Shit, what if I screw up? What if my ADD kicks in and I say the wrong word? I hope I didn't screw up the PowerPoint. What if I press the left button instead of the right button and I go backwards? What if and then the what if?
Yeah.
And then like a virtual hand came out of my chest and just smacked me across the head. And then literally the words that came out of my mouth, Remalaka, you've been hustling for 20 years. Do you remember your first seminar? You had 2 people show up and you still did the seminar. You had to take all the money you made and pay an extra just to pay for that room. All the seminars you've done, law enforcement, security, you get now to this point and now you're gonna fucking freak? Are you kidding me? And then I was like, And then I switched my mind, because it happens where your anxiety might kick in, you might go a little, and you got to learn how to. I switched. I'm like, then I brought up my chest, brought up my head. I'm like, I got this, man. I made it. I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here. And then I can't wait to get on stage. I'm going to crush it. I started visualizing myself. I started like looking what he's doing and what points I'm going to pick up and how I'm going to bridge to what I'm going to teach. I started shuffling like a boxer. I felt suddenly the excitement. I turned my anxiety into excitement, and bam, I went on stage and I crushed it in front of 120 people.
Yeah.
Once I was done, they were like, that was amazing, thank you. But that also is because of my acting.
Yeah.
Right? The stage fright, going in front of the camera, going in front of the set, it could happen.
Yeah.
And you gotta, now it's like, I told myself, every time I get it, I'm turning my anxiety into excitement.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And in that moment, I switched it and I crushed it. And then I was like, because it's gonna happen probably again. And sometimes you just need to talk your way out of it. You know what I mean? So I think that my acting has helped me in many things, in doing interviews, in doing my podcasts, in being, teaching self-defense, in front of public speaking, in front of teaching big groups. It all comes in and is connected.
Yeah, it's very similar to, we had our guest Sean Watts say, I asked him, how do you deal with some feelings of self-doubt sometimes? And he goes, well, you have to go through your own highlight reel.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, yeah.
I went back through all the stages that I struggled, all the stages where I doubted myself, all the stages where I questioned, should I do this, should I quit? And now I'm here, I made it. That was the most highlight moment, one of the highlight moments of my life, that I was like, okay, after 20 years of my hard work, I finally made it to this point.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I was the most exciting moment, one of the most exciting moments of my life that I won't forget, to go up there. And that's why I was like, I went on there, and you just gotta let yourself go, get out of your head, and you just gotta believe in everything that you're doing, all those useless moments, or you think, is it worth it? Should I do it? Shouldn't I do it? Should I make this movie? It doesn't pay enough. I'm doing it for free. I'm not getting, all those moments you have to do.
Yeah.
Because they prepare you for that big moment.
Exactly. And now you could add that to your highlight reel.
Yeah, that's
there
it.
We go.
That's it.
There we go. Well, Nick, thank you so much for this interview.
Thank you, Michael, for having me.
It was a real pleasure. I took so much out of it.
I hope so, and I hope people take out of it too. It's all real. It's all from my experience. That's all I can share is my story.
Thank you. And thank you for being so real with us today. I
Pleasure,
appreciate
Michael.
that. Thank you very much.
Next time on a frappe.
There we go. There we go.
No freddo espresso frappe.
No, frappe. Mavro.